Bella, today we're going to be looking at angiosperms. So angiosperms is the scientific name for flowering plant. There are many different types of flowers, but there are two different groups of flowering plants we can separate angiosperms into. And to help us do this, we're going to be using lilies and the rose to help us distinguish the two different groups of angiosperms. So let's compare and contrast the two plants. What is the first main difference you can see other than the colour?
The petals?
Yeah, the petals. So what can you notice? Does one have more? Does one have less?
The lily has less petals than the rose.
Yeah, how many petals does the lily have?
The lily has 6 petals.
Yeah, good. So the rose, I'm not quite sure how many it has, but it's got quite a few, hasn't it? So we're going to then look at the leaves. That's the next thing we can look at to distinguish the difference. What can you notice between the lily's leaves and the rose's leaves?
The lily has long, skinny leaves, and the rose has round, short leaves.
Exactly. And the veins on the leaves, can you see the veins on the leaves in the lily? It's a little bit faint, but you might be able to see. Can you tell me what you can see, what you notice about the veins?
On the lily they're parallel.
Yeah, exactly. And what about the veins on the rose? They're quite different from the lily's leaves.
They're spidery.
Yeah, I reckon that's a good word to describe the veins. They're quite spidery. So these two types of plants are both angiosperms, but one is a monocot and one is a dicot. So monocots, Bella, are flowering plants that have petals in groups of 3s, and their veins on their leaves run in a parallel pattern. And then dicots, like the rose here, has petals groups in 4s and 5s, and their veins, well, they're the opposite to the lily really. They're quite spidery and random. They do have a little bit, they do kind of run parallel, but when they run out, there's lots of other little veins that come out, and that's how they get their sunlight. The sunlight feeds down through the veins to give them food. So now that we've looked at the features that distinguish a monocot and a dicot, I've got two plants here for you to look at. I'm going to get you to use what you've just learned and see if you can apply it to the frangipani. Could you please look at the frangipani and tell me if it is a dicot or a monocot, and what led you to make?
It's a dicot because it's got 5 petals.
Yeah, good. And so if we can already look at the petals, then we don't really need to look at the leaves. But if there was a lot of petals, for example the rose, the next thing we could look at is the leaves. And the other plant I've got for you to look at, this one's called a spiderwort. So, dicot or monocot, what do you think?
Monocot?
Yeah, because it's only got 3 petals, which is pretty easy, isn't it? And you can see its leaves here, its veins are quite parallel. Okay, so that's all I have for you on monocots and dicots. So maybe when you're in your garden, you can have a look at the different plants and see if they're monocots or dicots. Thank you, Bella.